So that being said, my thought was I want to really see what the freshmen think about and how they want to engage with me in the classroom. So whether I have several series of sessions with 10-person groups through the course of the day, once a week or something, is something that I've considered. So, it wouldn't be like every day, twice a week, you would come to class like a regular class.
Yeah.
It would be limited interaction through the course of the semester, only when times are required, maybe 4 to 5 in-class sessions. Most of the rest is going to be online.
Yeah.
And I thought, if I can work outdoors, I would probably do a lot of the demos, get them recorded, and they would be available to the students.
Okay.
So my senior classes are all online. So
okay, yeah,
building systems and things like that, those are done easily, be able to teach online. The biggest challenge is really, freshman, sophomore design studio.
Mhm.
Yeah, actually, I know a lot of you guys are taking a Studio 3 and 5, and some of them is portfolio. I don't worry too much about their classes. And even myself, because I'm going to teach all of those classes, and I'm pretty well trained from the last semester. I know some of the ideas how to do it, and I'm going to adopt. I've been studying some of the online platform of the kind of online whiteboards, like just like you guys, like a pin-up on the on the wall. We have I'm studying right now how to do those kind of stuff. So I'm gonna adopt those systems. So I'm trying to simulate as much as we can and an in-class experience for that. So.
So then for those more advanced senior level courses, it would pretty much work similarly to how things were last semester.
Yes.
Okay.
And because you guys already know how to do it. So
yeah, exactly.
Based on to my experience right now here, but it's not totally necessary. It really helps because of that. You're going to start to draw a lot of them instead of drawing in a mouse. Actually, I bought a stylus myself. It's not that expensive actually. And Amazon is like what, $50. So I'm learning how to use this also. So that's somewhat, and it might be good to prepare yourself to work online base.
Okay.
And I should let you know, if any of you are going to be in the Studio Art ARTS 250, the Intro to Digital Media, for the students in that class, we've just put in the order, as I understand it, but for Wacom tablets, they're not the fancy ones that are in the classroom that have the monitor as part of it that you draw on, but it's like a separate drawing tablet that comes with its own stylus. That the idea is that students in the two sections, that 250, will be able to take that home and work from home based on those. So that could come in really handy if any of you happen to be in that class as well.
I'm going to have any freshmen in here taking Studio 1 and Drawing 1 next semester?
I am.
1, 2, 3.
And there's just his name. It's not his name doesn't only his name shows up here. So there's a few right now.
There's a few of them, right? Yeah. So for that, most of our sessions that we're going to meet, especially for the drawing class, is going to be not inside the classroom. So you're going to have your own drawing palette, sketchbook, drawing tools, and we're going to be outside. We're going to basically draw and learn as if we were apprentices, and we'd learn as an apprentice system, like the old school methods. And we're going to be outside looking at the buildings and learning how to draw those buildings on campus from place to place. So you have a lot of space between each other. And I figured campus is not going to be extremely crowded, so you'll be able to move around and get your own little spot, find your own little building.
Are you planning to broadcast, Ruben, for that?
What's that?
Are you planning to broadcast that to the students?
So this is when they're going to actually work on their own. Like, remember how in class we give them an assignment and they start working on it by themselves, like sketching and drawing? So those kinds of activities, so that I can kind of, engage them in person and have a conversation, I'd like to be able to do those on campus. So that not necessarily inside the classroom, but so demos.
That is my question.
demo, like,
my question, if you do that in outside, and if some students chose not to come to school, and so is that possible? Is that recorded or Zoom or something? Because
well, it's more of a personal activity where you choose the topic you want to draw. Like, so for example, you might be drawing Laxon Auditorium, the columns and the details. And so you'd get a chance to go out there instead of hanging out in the classroom and drew that. And so the person who's going to be attending from home would have to choose a subject of their own in their home, a piece of architecture of some sort to work with. So whether it be their kitchen or whatever. And then the only way that can be live broadcast is I do have the GoPro. And if there's a way to basically later on, that video that's going to be recorded while I walk around and see the students working, that can be put on the classroom sort of list of videos, reference videos. But I don't know if it can be live streamed. I mean, I don't know how to use that.
I think that'd be great. You know, if you give them some little comments or lecture at outside, if you videotape the GoPro, and actually I tested myself with a GoPro. It's very easy.
Yes, it is.
Upload it to the Google Drive, so that some students can watch at home, because that way, because when you give them a little instructions at the Laxon Auditorium, for example, and a lot of times that's a very, very important information.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So I was thinking I was going to wear the headset and then basically talk about, and then when I do the demos, they can see my hands on the paper, whatever I'm looking at, you know, pointing at, and then all of that basically gets uploaded on the Google Drive, and they have that for reference. But in studio and drawing, I'm going to actually do, you know, more focused reference videos of me making a model, cutting foam board, setting up a drawing, all that kind of stuff, which is going to be more like, you know, setup.
And you know, somebody's name is Michael. Is that Michael? Who's Michael? I'm looking for the Michael Lawrence here. Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't realize it was.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because that's why.
Hey, Michael, good to see you.
One thing, maybe at some point, would you please talk to you teach it 333, isn't it? This semester. Michael?
What was that?
You're teaching 333 this
Revit.
semester.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah.
So maybe some point, would you please share with us what is your class format will be? Because I noticed a lot of students are going to be in your class.
It came up the other day that for some reason someone had listed it as being partly in class, partly remote. I don't know why it got set to that, but I was planning on teaching the class entirely remote. I can do a couple courses early on in the semester where maybe we're in person for, like, say, the first one day for the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But I don't really have any intention of teaching the full semester in class.
So you'll be totally online.
Yeah.
I'm going to be setting up a meeting with the freshmen, the incoming freshmen for Studio One and Drawing One, so that I can give you a little bit more direct instructions, and we can kind of talk a little bit about, get your little inputs. And so talk to your friends if you're in Studio One or Drawing One, and for an upcoming meeting in the next few weeks or so to hash out some logistics for this semester based on, you know, the student feedback that I get.
I think that maybe you can go to the Blackboard. You can send an email to all.
Yes, I have all the roster right now. Yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. So keep an eye out for those emails.
I have a quick question as far
Yes.
as like the in-person classes. So like you mentioned that like you're like they're only really allowing like 10 people to be in person, and whoever doesn't want to go to the in-person classes, they'll be able to watch it on Zoom. Like, how is that gonna like be regulated? Because normally our class sizes are like pretty large, especially for like Studio 3 or Studio 5 and stuff like that. So is there gonna be like a sign-up sheet, and like the first 10 people who sign up get to go, and then the rest are on Zoom,
You know what? Yeah, we have to figure out a way to control. So what's going to happen, at least what I see in my classes happening, is there's going to be several sessions. So if we're going to have an in-class lecture and workshop, then I would probably have 2 or 3 sessions through the course of the day,
Okay.
allowing 10 groups of 10s coming. So my class size is about 30 or so, 28 or something. I don't remember.
Okay.
So kind of, that would be the way. And that's part of the reason why I'm going to have a meeting before the semester starts, so that I can kind of hash out these logistics with my students so they know what their expectations are. Yeah. And I think the other thing, and I think that, I don't know about the rest of the professors, but I think one thing that's going to happen, I think may happen for a lot of you guys, is the way we engage when we're in a classroom, where we have the opportunity to discuss and talk, and sometimes we talk off topic. You guys get to discuss amongst each other. You guys are working on projects while you're just hanging out with your friends and talking about all kinds of other stuff. So that's not going to be there anymore, right? You're going to be kind of solo on your desk, glued to your desk, touching your own stuff, not looking around a whole lot, but just kind of doing, listening and working. So there's not going to be a whole lot of talking and socializing between us and yourselves amongst your students too. So the atmosphere is going to be a little bit different. That being said, I see my classes becoming a lot more streamlined in terms of how they're going to be delivered. And there's not going to be much leeway there's not going to be any leeway in terms of the flexibility of changing topics because things come up during the course of the semester. I think it's going to be a little bit more straightforward, where you will get an entire semester schedule. You'll know what's going to happen which day in which class, and you'll know when things are going to be dipped, and then you're just going to go from there and work on in a workbook system rather than attending lectures and doing things. You're going to get a workbook, at least for my classes, which will take you through the semester.
That will be helpful.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see any other way. There's so much to cover. The only way to really cover it is like textbook style, a little bit old school, I would say.
And I just want to say, as a general principle, we're all going to absolutely do our best to accommodate all the students where they are with their needs as best we possibly can. So, I would just suggest framing questions. So instead of like thinking about like, how is this not going to work for me? The question is like, tell us what's going on, tell us what you need, and we're going to do our best to work with that. I've been talking to the faculty all summer long. I've been to 1 million meetings. They've gotten 1,000 emails from me. And everybody really is dedicated to doing everything they can to make this work. So yeah, just let folks know what's going on and what'll work for you, because we can't come up with one answer that'll work for everybody. We say, we want to be all in person. Students are like, yes, we get to go back. And then suddenly we get 6 emails that are like, I'm not coming back, which is fair, right? Everybody's got their own issues going on right now. So yeah, just as a general principle, assume that we're doing our best and we'll do all we can to accommodate.
We're all in this together. We all are in individual scenarios. We have different backgrounds, and our personal homes are different scenarios. You guys know my situation, and I'm sure you guys have your own personal situations dealing with your own lives. And so it's impossible to come up with one straight answer for everybody. And so, we'll try our best to work with every individual. So
I think my class, I will emphasize a lot of the teamwork, surprisingly, because I know the Leuven's class is isolated. Actually, I'm going to give you guys more of the teamwork situation, because I'm almost trying to simulate the real world experience right now, because all the designers these days, they work at home, but still they work as a team. So this is a great opportunity you can work. And of course, it is possible because of for the junior level and senior level. Of course, sophomore is not possible. So, we're going to do that. Also, one positive note for this situation is, based on my experience last semester, especially senior studio, their outcome is better than on previous years. So online doesn't mean we're going to sacrifice the quality of your education. I don't know, because I asked them to what makes the difference? You guys did a great job because we have no place to go. All they can do is just work at home.
Ruben, I have a question about